Well, that's weird. Okay, something's weird. Okay, there we go. Test, test. But I don't understand what is going on. Oh, no wonder. It would help if I turned up the volume.
Oh, is that what, is that what it was?
Okay, so we got one person. Means it's landing. All the comments from the platforms will be right here. Put that over here. Don't really need that. Put the comments over here. Put this over here. Yeah. Welcome to Soulogy Studio. I think this is the right one. Let's see. We tested this already.
Hi, Candace.
Test, 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 test.
Test, test.
Let's try this other one. Test, test.
Test, test.
All right. I think this other one's better. Test, test, test. Yeah, that's the right one. Okay. That fan's a little loud though. So this will be better. Sorry about that. Okay. Test, 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 test. Okay, we're good. All right. Oh my gosh. All right. As usual, we're no spit and polish here. We're just it's not the amateur hour, but it's the organic hour. So we've got Jess Maitri in here. Interesting story. She's the first one to come into the studio since we've been here for 2 days broadcasting, which is pretty cool. Have somebody come in on the second day. And the interesting thing is she arrived in Sedona the same day I did on Monday, basically getting the same guidance.
Yeah, definitely.
To come. And how did you put it? I'm here. We're just going to give it a shot, whatever.
We're going in flow.
Yeah, going with the flow.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's Candace Coe, your
Hi,
friend.
Candace.
Yeah. My friend, your friend.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so do you have any idea what you're going to be doing here?
So I've had some premonitions. Does that count?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
I think I'm going to get tested. Pretty sure.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. Yeah.
How many times have you been here?
This is my 5th time. So Sedona's pulled me in 4 times in the last 2 years. And last time I was here was last month, and she made it very clear I needed to live here to get the full lesson, because every time I would come, it would be like short little, and she's like, no, you need to come in and immerse in this.
Yeah, the first time I came for 6 weeks, and it was such a massive experience. That's where I met Anubis.
Oh.
That's why anytime I come here, he leads the way. But this is my 10th time, and I was talking about it on the show today. It's in a totally different energy. It's like I've always felt that Sedona was the mother energy. Everything to me is the mother energy, and although there's a lot of grandfather energy here, but man, this time the mother's presence has been like nothing I've ever felt before. I'm on my toes because it's Sedona. I'm not expecting to be challenged, but I'm open to whatever she offers. But what I've gotten so far is just this, like, holding me in her arms. Just
Me too.
Are you getting that?
Oh yeah, just total.
Because I mean, because I wanted to, and because I was working weird hours, I slept right here. I brought my stuff in, and I slept with my blankets and everything. And so it very much, she was explaining to me last night, you're sleeping on the land.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't make sense because it's like all rocky, and even though it's got carpet on it, but I've just been revitalized. It's like getting I don't know, infused with something. I can't
Power.
explain it, but so you've been feeling like that nurturing too.
I have, yeah. She just wants to come hold me. Yeah.
But you feel like you're going to be tested.
Yeah, I just get this not in like a horrible dramatic way, but like she's gonna set, and it's through people. I can already kind of sense them.
Yeah.
Like, hey, did you get the lesson yet?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm feeling like this spirit of collaboration being almost a have to, like a necessity, like interacting with other people where two or more gather or something like that. Yeah. I'm getting that. I know that, 2020, 2021, we can call that the COVID, years or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, it was really transformational. There's been a lot of talk about it, but this year has been mind-blowing.
Me too.
Yeah, and I know for you, you've been on the move and you've had a lot of life-changing situations and scenarios.
Yeah.
How did you experience it? I mean, in other words, how did you handle it? I'm going to turn on one of these lights.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
How did I handle it? Well, it started right when the North Node moved into Taurus, so I'm a Taurus, and do you want me to wait?
No, keep going.
Oh, you can hear me?
I can
Okay.
hear you,
yeah, and so,
Is it too bright?
No, here we are.
Yeah, it's just, otherwise the camera won't focus. Okay.
Yeah, so I've been having to go with the flow. That's been my medicine, and that's another message I got from Sedona here is you have to learn to trust on a whole new level that you've never trusted before and not try and figure things out. So that's how I've gotten through.
Yeah, I got some clarity on that doing the show with this really beautiful couple yesterday, and then with Nicola Farmer just right before you came. And so she was talking about, because she channels Anna, and she has for years, and so she was talking about a channel she did with her group just a few days ago, and that Anna was talking about, speaking in terms of masculine and feminine in all of us, that the feminine, the masculine is stepping back, or needs to step back now, and allow the feminine to just totally go for it. And that the feminine was building a new wall. And as I was talking to her, going back to what you're saying, I've been not resisting, because I have been going with it, but like I was telling you, like being in Texas and being pushed this direction, and yet Arkansas, there's a Soulogy Fest happening in late August. I would make logical sense to me to be there.
Right.
But as I was driving over, I talked to my friend. She goes, I had this premonition last night, or not this premonition, but this communion. I was all of a sudden in the mountains of Sedona, and they were talking to the mountains in Arkansas, the Ozarks, to where this fest is going to be. So there was already this link occurring. And then when I got here, it just was one thing after another. But what I was getting at, to tie it back to what you said, the way I would describe what's happening is I'm being asked to take action and steps that don't make any sense, which we've all done, but not consistently. Moment by moment by moment, keep creating, keep following the heart. It's not going to make sense, but the results are going to blow your mind.
That's exactly what I've been getting.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So isn't that something?
It's uncomfortable. It's really uncomfortable.
Yeah, it is a bit uncomfortable. It is a bit uncomfortable, no doubt.
Yeah.
It really is. Something huge is going on in Sedona. When I asked the Galactics, immediately said they are in Arizona.
Huh? Aren't they always?
Yeah. So, you have literally, like this is the only thing you know you're doing right now. And then from here.
I don't know what I'm doing. That's like the whole, the medicine for me.
So you work online, so that part of your existence isn't going to be altered.
Well, I do retreats and groups in person, and then I am a therapist online and somatic and do intuitive work online.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you think you're going to be getting out on the land?
Oh, heck yeah, every day. That's my goal. Every day is to get on the land.
Where are you going to go?
This morning I went to Carol something. It's actually, I don't remember. It's just a beautiful trail down Sunset Road. And then just not the vortexes, because everyone's going there. And so I want to get off the beaten path a little bit and explore.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't. I know I've been to Boynton Canyon. Yeah. I've been to Bell Rock. I've been to Cathedral. Yeah. What is it? Airport Mesa.
Airport Mesa, yeah.
Yeah, that was probably the most powerful one for me was I went to Airport Mesa, and it was really weird. You know, it was the first time I came, that 6-week period, and it was all about some really wicked stuff that was going on there by the airport, and I had to do this weird ceremony and go up to the top of it and find water in the middle of the summer. I found a little puddle at the top, and it was trippy. But that's Sedona. Sedona's.
She doesn't make sense.
Well, she's multi versal, galactic, dimensional.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I mean, like a lot of people, I say that a lot, I shouldn't say that a lot. There's been people talking about credible people that's kind of their role, have been talking about this energy that's not upon us, but on us, in it, we're in it. Some people are talking about the Flash again, 3 Days of Darkness, just a totally different atmosphere since the 1st of June. Kind of like the things you're talking about with, following the feminine into it versus the logical, rational of the old patriarchal. I guess that would be the best word.
Yeah.
But do you feel that? Are you getting wowed every day?
Every day, yeah, every day. And I feel like it's not a choice anymore. Like when I try in logic, I just kind of get smacked back, and it's not really a choice. We kind of have to be in the moment, or we trip all over ourselves and mess things up, and that's how I'm experiencing it anyway. Like get out of the way. Yeah.
But even though it's a bit uncomfortable, it feels pretty easy. Oh, I say pretty easy. I'm more okay with it now. I mean, I'm already in. I feel like I've jumped in the deep end, and there's nothing I can do but swim.
Pretty much. Yeah. That's how I feel too.
So in your work, everybody does different stuff. I'm just curious, like what you do with your individual work.
Yeah.
I'm just curious as like what we can play with.
Sure. So I like to call myself a bridge. So I'm a traditional mental health therapist, but I'm also a somatic embodied intuitive therapist too. I also do intuitive readings, and for a while I was in a lot of opposition to the mental health field. And I realized that I actually got this download a couple days ago when I was here Sedona, she wants me to not be in such opposition to that because I'm not able to be of service to as many people. So I am bridging the two worlds. I also do breath work and.
Well, that makes sense because I'm a big believer you can't divorce yourself from any aspect of ourselves or the universe.
Right.
And what I think I've seen, coming on board, especially like this year, and I think this is a good example where you don't distance yourself from what would be the opposite or antagonist energy. Or maybe even the controlling energy, if you just put it in the medical field perspective. And so you're actually taking on what has been established or what has been the norm, and you're actually, I guess, in a way, merging the two.
I'm bringing my medicine to that world.
Right.
And as long as they'll keep me, then that's what I'm going to do.
And so, like, do your clients come from traditional means?
I have like a third of them want traditional therapy, and the rest of them want my intuitive work and my breath work and my somatic. I'm a yoga therapist as well, or they do my groups. So I'm kind of like a jack of all trades. I do a lot of different things, but I like to keep one foot over there so that people that normally wouldn't get that kind of work can experience it when they look for a counselor, and then they find me that's different.
Are you noticing anything with your clients this year?
Everything is like faster, like they're getting it faster.
Now, would these be the ones that you're doing energy work with more openly, or the ones that are in the traditional, or both?
Honestly, both.
Really?
Yeah, if I push the ones that are traditional, they'll come over faster to this world. Whatever world we're in over here. Yeah, they're wanting it.
Some people have been talking about in the last few weeks, and Nicola was just talking about it because I asked her about it. I'd like to hear what you have to say. And I'll just give it to you in the metaphor of the way Morgan got it, which again, this was more than her. Other people have been saying it. Again, you can watch Nicola's response earlier. But like in hers, it was a vision of all of us that had been walking towards a line. We crossed the line, and those that in that moment that we crossed the line, all those that were quote unquote unawakened, we all come to the same level immediately.
Yeah.
Are you feeling anything like that?
Yeah, I do. I feel like this whole we're awake and they're not awake, that's like not relevant really anymore.
Right.
That's how it feels to me.
Yeah.
Like,
well, if you look at it and you take the example that you just gave about your association with the traditional mental health industry and your role in it as a practitioner, and then over here outside of it in our realm,
right.
That energy over there could be the so-called unawakened,
Right.
and you are representing the awakens, and you're actually bringing the two together,
right.
or like you said, taking it to them.
Right.
She said something really interesting. The way she saw it was, we crossed the line, and because we crossed the line, when we crossed the line, it created the divide, the great divide people were talking about for a long time. She called it a void, and that now the more time we spend and acknowledge and own where we're at, that the void dissipates and eventually it all becomes the same.
Yes.
So it's just another metaphor.
Yeah.
To way to explain it.
Yeah. I'm curious your thoughts on this. I've actually ran into quite a few light workers that have come crashing down. Like, when I say crashing down, I mean like no more bypassing. Like, we are being called to the earth and back to our bodies and back in our bodies and like human first. And like anything that's not human first is getting a kick in the butt. It's what it feels like to me.
I actually think the way that you described it is perfect.
Okay.
Yeah. I think you said a lot of light workers are crashing.
Yeah, I mean, if there's any bypassing that's happened,
Yeah,
of like,
yeah.
I'm enlightened and I'm here to whatever.
Well, I mean, and that could be actually described in so many ways, and if we just kept it. I mean, to me, it's real easy to detect for myself by observing others and saying, if I'm seeing that, I need to make sure that I'm in check.
Yeah.
But I think internally in that dialogue with the universe, or say with the higher self and the human, that's become more clear. Cool. Like when I don't know, when I examine it, there's a knowing.
Yeah.
That, okay, you're good, or no, you're not good. Go look here. Did you remember this happened, or that? Almost like a life review, real quick, boom, 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 and then it gets said. I don't know if that made any sense.
Yeah. It did up here.
Yeah, that's what lack of sleep does to you. Yeah, and if anyone has any questions for Jess, feel free to ask them. Ask whatever questions you want to. Let's talk about semantics. Somatics.
Sorry. Oh, somatic therapy.
Somatics.
No.
Yeah, somatic therapy. That's hands-on type of stuff, or
it's
Reiki, or what is that? Is that something that can be done distance? Or,
yep.
Okay.
But what it is actually I can tune into different parts of people's bodies and actually give them a voice. So someone has chronic pain, we go into the subconscious because the subconscious lives in the body. It's what I believe, and then you can actually go into the body and uproot some really basically memories stored there, and then give these parts of you a voice. So, and that can be done with movement, it can be hands-on, it can be all of that.
What's the most difficult barrier you run into when working with your clients? Good question.
People that are not willing to go deep. That's actually really draining and hard for me.
What does that look like? Like, they don't want to talk about their alcoholism, or they don't want to talk about their sexual molestation as a child?
Yeah, yep. Yeah, in fact, I just did a retreat in Bear Lake, and one of the participants, we were in a group of about 6, and everybody was going deep except this one person. And she was just not willing to go there, and it threw the whole dynamic off with the whole group. And it's actually really draining when,
Did y'all take a shovel and... I'm just kidding.
No, we accepted her for where she was at, but...
No, it reminds me of that meme. It was in regard to that. I'm a light worker. Here's what I carry with me every day. It was like love and light and a shovel.
A shovel? Yeah.
A shovel to
kept
bury.
that with me. Left it at home.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
So really, you don't have any plans. You just showed up like
just like you.
But that seems to be not just about Sedona. That seems to be what the energy is.
Yeah.
Go here. Here's your signs.
Yep.
Follow those signs, and more
is revealed.
More is revealed, and a quicker turnaround even.
Yep.
Because like I came in, I was doing like videos from the car, Soulogy's coming to Sedona, and I said I'm going to be at the. It was the middle of the night. I'm going to be at the coffee pot at 9 a.m. on Monday morning.
Oh, okay.
And I'm getting close to town, and my friend Victoria Lillenquist, she sends me a note, says I'm going to be there at 9.
Yep.
So I roll in. So my point is, it was there, and then
Yeah.
I came here and met a few people. Then I went and took a nap, and then came back. And yesterday was yesterday. I did a show with this, but it was one thing after
Yeah.
another.
Yeah.
Met this musician. We hit it off. The next thing you know, the three of us are in there jamming, and
That's awesome.
it's like, we're like two of us anyway. We're in total vulnerability,
Nice.
right? So there's this thing about that too, like this feminine leading the way thing is we're
yes.
stepping into the unknown.
Yeah.
Like we're stepping into the womb, and it's like, it's not like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's. I was scared. And I don't really get scared if there's a camera or whatever, but yeah, trying to sing or harmonize, that makes me very scared. But it was like I knew that it was like my soul was saying, you're going to do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And next time it's going to be a little better. And the next, you know what I mean? It was like that kind of
Did
message.
you sing? Is that what you're saying?
I didn't sing any yesterday. I have, and I'm probably going to do some tonight.
That was awesome.
But yeah, because I mean, like I was just like reading my words and rhyming, and our brother Amethyst is an accomplished street musician for 6 years.
Oh,
You got to meet him. You'll meet him in a minute.
sweet.
Really cool dude. Very powerful dude.
Well,
But yeah, it was just nice, the collaboration, just like this, right? That's what I
Well,
mean. It just keeps happening.
Candace texted me, said, "Hey, Todd just landed in Sedona," and I said, "Okay, cool." And then I
Yeah.
reached out to you and said, "Yeah, come over and do a show."
Yeah,
Here we are.
And my friend Diane Powers just sent me a note when I got off the last show. I'm across the street working at. She works at Whole Foods now.
And it's raining outside. Look at that.
Is that what the hell that is?
Hey, we're getting rain in Sedona, you guys.
Wow. Wow. Got to watch out for the scorpions apparently when the
Yeah.
rains come.
Oh, really? Oh.
That's what I heard. He said there's none in here, but I'm sleeping. See, I'm sitting here sleeping on the ground, and again, that's by choice because my friends have offered me a bedroom and a bed, which I have napped in. But so I'm laying here last night because Ty told me at his house, he's like, just want to tell you, don't walk around
Are you serious?
barefoot. No. And he said the office they don't have them.
Okay.
But he was telling me at the house, just at night when it's dark, put some sandals on.
Oh, jeez.
And I'm like thinking, so I'm laying here last night and I'm going, what if they're here? Like, and then I just had to keep surrendering to Mother Sedona, which is Mother Earth, which is
Yeah.
Mother Mary to me, which is
Yeah.
Mother Goddess,
Agreed.
But yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
Yeah, rat-tat-tat-tat. Sounds like hell.
Yep. Oh, it's nice, though.
So what else is going on?
Well, vulnerability pinged something in me. Like, that for sure is a theme. Like,
Yeah.
there's no more, we have to get out of this. And when the more this dies off, the harder that is to lead. I mean, the easier it is to lead. with
Yeah.
that. That's
and
a theme.
Yeah. And that's a really good point. That's a great point, because for me, like I've kind of like had my fill with
Yeah. The head
trying to figure shit out. And I'm not saying my approach is right, but what I am getting is I can also just step into the vulnerability and the unknown, and that has some type of effect on whatever shadows I could try to go through. Let's just say previous methods, right? I'm not saying that I won't have to, but I can feel this magnetic pull.
Yeah.
I was feeling it about 3 hours after I left Texas, and it wasn't just about Sedona. It's bigger than that, right? Like micro, macro. Like
Yeah.
I can feel it. It's like step into this. Just like being in front of that microphone without ears. I never done that before, and this guy is like this. These two accomplished me. It was like really, really confronting. But I kept hearing just, this is the medicine.
Yes.
This is the medicine, right?
It is. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, really, when you get down to it, transparency, telepathy is 100% transparency.
I think that's what we're moving in. I mean,
Yeah.
that's been off the charts for me. I
Yeah.
don't know about you, but I can feel people and
Yeah.
things coming in, and
Yeah.
and timelines shift. Do you feel that too? Like, I feel like timelines have like, it's not just one or two. It's like
Yeah.
infinite.
Yeah. And I've noticed too that if I don't judge if I can pull myself out of the loops that have all played in our heads all these years. Like I had a situation, and in that situation there was some things that weren't in alignment. So I had to have a conversation. I didn't know how it was going to go. But instead of predetermining anything or saying, I'm going to say this and I'm going to say this, I didn't say it. And I just said, okay, so this is what you've presented. I restated it, and then it was received and given back to me in equal energy exchange and equilibrium.
Wow.
And it was weird. It was like you go in for the doctor to get a shot,
Yeah.
and there was no shot, or there was no,
It didn't happen
you
the way
didn't feel
that
it.
you...
Yeah, it just was like, oh, is that it?
Oh.
All right. Oh,
Oh, that's interesting.
keep going. I just got to put this back in. It's good. They can hear you. I just can't
Okay.
monitor the sound. Okay, we're
No,
good.
I agree with you. I think that, just dropping the agenda opens up infinite possibilities. That's what I've found. It's
Yeah.
infinite.
Like I have to do this. Really, why do you have to do that?
Right.
Do you have to do that to teach that person a lesson, or do you have to do that for your own egocentric?
Yes.
Yeah.
To keep yourself safe.
Right,
To
right.
not be vulnerable, basically. Candace.
Candace says soft is the new hard.
Where did she say that? I don't.
She said soft is the new hard. Let me see. Hang on. How do you deal with? Wait, let's make sure we got them all. Okay, here we go. Here's another one from Flicks Love YouTube. Thank you. How do you deal with people? Oh, let me put it up on the screen. That would be nice of me, wouldn't it? How do you deal with people that want regular therapy, and you pick up an intuitive hit? How do you stay in your integrity with that? Wow, a great question. And is that what makes it hard?
So, Flicks, how I do that is I actually let all of my clients know, including my regular therapy clients, that I am using my intuition, that I am an intuitive therapist. And if they want somebody that's not going to be reading their energy, then I have a lot of great referrals for people to go see like a traditional therapist. So I'm basically, in that world, but also being authentic at the same time, which can be, not everybody wants that. That's okay.
Yeah, but those are choice points for you too.
Yeah,
like,
and
you get presented with things that make you have to do what you're talking about, what you're doing. Actually, you're actually doing it.
I'm actually
That's
doing
actually
it.
yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
This is interesting. Since you're into somatic, did I say that right?
Somatics, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So this is from our friend Louise. I'm sorry, Make a Pathway Louise, because that is really her name. I went on a womb healing retreat in Hedenbridge last summer where I experienced somatic dance. It allowed me to feel my body during my sensory mobility journey. She was coming back from I think a car accident and severe restriction of mobility. So that's really interesting. When I woke up, I had taught myself how to dance right as I was waking up, and I was by my own choice homeless for a couple of years, but I would dance in the clubs, electronic and black clubs, like 5-6 nights a week.
Oh.
And the reason I was pulling up her question is because I never really thought about it. I knew what it did for my soul because I was in a massive part of my awakening, like we can all relate to, regardless of how much long it lasts. But I didn't really think about the effect it might have somatically on my body. But one thing I will say, I walked a lot those 2 years because I didn't have a car, and I danced a lot. And I had chronic back pain from 30 to 42, really, really bad, real debilitated, and didn't really improve. I lost 20% through atrophy of my lower back muscles. But something happened to me in those 2 years. Do you think that movement has that type of, I want to say like energetic influence on our transformation?
I definitely do. Absolutely. Yes. I need to do that, actually. You just made me realize I need to look up where to dance around here. I'm sure it won't be hard to find.
I don't know. This is you might have to go to Phoenix for that. It depends. Oh no, they have.
No, they have.
Yeah, they have like ecstatic dance. I'm
dance.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you please explain somatics in a nutshell?
So the word somatics just means speaking to your body and getting into your subconscious mind through the body. It can be through movement. It can be through sound. I use a lot of sound, toning, and sensation, using all the senses. That's, in a nutshell, there's your answer.
And so when you talk to people, or when you treat people somatically with a somatic approach, are you instructing them how to do it themselves?
No, I am like a moment-to-moment practitioner. So whatever shows up in their body, I follow it and then go into it more. And then what shows up next, we go there. And then if there's a movement or a gesture or a sound or something like that, like I literally am moment-to-moment with each person. And
what about if let's say me or whoever, could I go home, lay down, speak to my body, or with the intention to get into the process that you do for others? Could I take it on myself and try to talk to my body, identify anything that's obvious or maybe that's unconscious or not obvious, and then just work with it through that communication?
Yeah, so the simplest way to do that is to close your eyes, identify an area of your body. I say the part of your body that's the loudest right now. So it could be pain, but it also could just be like, wow, I'm feeling something in the back of my heart. And then you close your eyes and you breathe into it, and then you open it up with your breath and with your awareness. And then I say, notice any sounds in that area, notice any images, memories, sensations, words sometimes. So it's like asking for non-linear data that's held in that area. And a lot of times it'll take you back to like a memory of or an age.
That's what I was going to ask you.
Yep.
I wanted to ask you that. So like what do you see? Do people have like memories come back? Is it always specific to this incarnation?
No, that's the thing, is sometimes it's a memory, but a lot of times it's like a past life, or it's also like something symbolic that their higher self wants them to know, but they don't know that that's what's happening. So they'll get like an image of themselves as a 5-year-old boy or something, and it's not really a memory, but it's their child self giving them a message that's like in their low back.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's honestly amazing.
Yeah, that reminds me of about 2 months ago, I had this vision. I don't get a lot of visions like, I don't think they're the type of visions that I hear like you or Morgan or a lot of these people get, but it was a vision of a little blonde-headed girl. And I told Morgan, I was like, yeah, this girl had a message. But I saw it as I didn't see it as me.
No, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And she said, I think that was you.
I was going to say it could have been an
That's what she
accident.
said. She said, I think that was you. And I said, no, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. And then a few hours went by, and I think I called her up, and I'm like, can we do like a session? I think that was me.
Yeah.
And it ended up being me. And I don't remember what the whole message was, but I don't know. I would have never thought, right?
It's amazing. Sometimes animals will show up, totems, symbols. Pretty cool. Our bodies are amazing. Having bear experiences. Oh yeah, I've been having bear.
What's that? Let's see.
Bear medicine.
Let's see. Is that what this one is?
Yeah.
Let me just put it up there so I can.
Yeah, I can't.
So you both were having bear. That's right. Did you have a bear experience?
Oh, yeah. For the last.
Wait, would love to hear you talk about that. Okay, so all right. Thanks, Candace. All
What's
right.
your bear experience?
Okay, so it would have been. I left on Monday. No, I left on Sunday. So early Sunday morning, 2:00 in the morning, I was sitting on the steps, the stoop of the RV, in my friend's 10 acres. So and there was more stars than I've seen in a long time. It was really amazing, and so it was really weird because there was this. I started watching a vision. It was a vision. It was a vision of I would say. I don't know how old bears get, but I would say it was like in bear language, probably like a 22-year-old,
Wow.
like a 22-year-old Todd, but as a bear,
Wow.
whatever that is. So I'm watching this bear, and the bear had something happen. I can't remember what it is right now, but like the bear was being kind of overlooked or mistreated unfairly. And he was a really powerful bear. Now, it's all coming back to me now. Like, I'm probably going to start crying or something. I don't know what the fuck's going on. But anyway, so like the bear, I was watching the bear, and again, like the little girl, I just realized, see, this is how dense I've been, I guess, because there is a certain thing that's happening in your brain, and it's kind of like, haywire sometimes.
Totally.
But so I watched the bear, I watched his story. He got it, his feelings were hurt. And he then came down and sat next to me.
Oh.
Right? Now, he was a tall, lean bear, right?
Oh.
So then him and I start watching this other bear, and the other bear was probably 4 feet tall, 4.5. It wasn't a baby bear, but I would say like in human proportion, it might have been 9 years old.
Okay.
And very similar thing. But it was louder. Where the other one was kind of like, say the bear was the energy of he was being teased. This one was one where he was being, I would say, abused.
What, the little one?
Yes. So I watched that, and then that bear came and sat with us.
Oh my God, you're integrating.
I don't know. And then,
Wow.
I just sat there, like in silence, and the silence spoke, I guess, in a way. And I do remember too, feeling, which has been happening a bit this month, like a lot of things with the body. I could feel the current coming through my feet, primarily on the masculine side.
Oh,
Like it was a light touch on my left side, but it was a real, like a full blown, almost like an electric current coming up through my. So that's what happened to me.
That's amazing.
And now that we're unpacking it, maybe we'll go a little further. But you tell us about yours.
Mine started about a month ago in my dreams. So she would come in my dream space, and she was actually going into my body and like literally digging out things that weren't serving me. And actually, I had this real. Mine was the left side, so it was like clean.
Okay.
She was cleaning out my
Feminine,
actually, all the baggage that I've been holding on that side, and I developed like a little cyst actually on my left side. And so it totally expressed somatically. So she's pretty powerful. She's still here in Sedona.
She's with you.
Oh yeah, for sure. She keeps telling me to go in my cave.
Where's your cave?
Sunset Drive.
Oh, I got you. So, yeah, that's interesting. And Candace said, yeah, and I can see from the description, kind of overlapping the times. But the prominence of the bear, I wonder what the bear, my chief spirit guide when I woke up was introduced to me as the spirit, not meaning it was my father, is what I always understood, but the spirit of my father. Like, this is the spirit of your father, chief running bear.
Oh.
And, that was the other thing that happened. When I was sitting with the two bears, I want to say like a dozen, 3, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12, the 12 aspects that kind of ushered me into my reawakening 12 years ago, they all showed up.
Whoa.
Right?
That's amazing.
Yeah, and that was weird. I haven't gone back and tapped in, and I really don't know what that means, but it was almost like, how do I explain this? It was like they came out then to bring me to who I was, and now they were coming out for the next leg of the journey or something. I can't really explain it. I don't know.
Well, bear means, I feel like it's like going within for your answers and really like being internal and not seeking outside ourselves for our answers. And that's how it feels to me, just very wise and, sovereign.
Right on.
Yeah.
Let's see what we have here. We have all been having bear dreams, all three of us. Who's that?
Oh, Candace too. Yeah.
She's having them too.
Totally. It's like going around.
Yeah. And here's another thing, which is, I think, thrown kind of been I don't want to say challenge, but it's been a new spin, and it's making us adapt or evolve or whatever has been the heightened strength of feelings. Feeling,
Totally.
I would say feeling more than feelings, but they're tied together. But
Just
I have a feeling, or I don't feel, and it's like thrown something into the mix of where you've got we're further down the road on non-judgment and condemnation of ourselves and others, and etc., shame, blame, and all that. But like it's weird. It's like thrown a new dynamic into it, to where I feel like we're being challenged to stand in our integrity, and therefore it's really weird because it doesn't like talk in normal words like the brain. It's just the feeling, kind of like go do this, go do this, and don't ask, but not in a mean way.
No, totally.
It's weird.
It's that trust again. Yeah. He makes room for everything.
Yeah, that's Bruce. He's our Soulogy comic.
Oh, cool.
He's always in the YouTube.
Oh, nice.
And we're still going. We got another 19 minutes. So anything you want to talk about or do?
Oh man,
or
I should have come more prepared.
No, you don't.
I just wanted to,
Hang
see
out.
you in person.
Yeah,
this
right
is
on.
Cool. It's so much I feel like would be relevant. Let me think. Yeah, the vulnerability has been coming up a lot. Speaking truth, and without, like what you were saying, without planning it. That feels like the medicine for me right now.
Yeah.
Getting out of the way and just sharing what's authentically true in every moment, and just showing up and seeing how things unfold. That's really my medicine right now.
Yeah. Talking to this couple yesterday, it was really interesting, because I walked away with this whole thing about transparency, and how when even if we're by the definitions, whether they're even charged, acting out, projecting, reacting, that's a very transparent thing. And I realized talking to them yesterday, among some other tidbits, that I can only speak for myself, but I do see it in our lives, and that is we're quick to deny that transparency.
Oh, totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they were talking about in a much more I don't know how to say it, but like in a much more real way of not wanting, but seeing the trigger, seeing the uncomfortable feeling, or what's presented, in other words, seeing it for the gift it is, and really, really feeling into that by following it instead of getting lost in and then trying to deny that that's not you, right? And I'll just speak for myself. It was really, kind of an eye-opening thing for me.
Yeah, it's like we're moving out of victim and into everything is a reflection of us.
Yeah.
That's how it feels.
Right on.
Yeah.
Meditation. Light language.
Oh, me offering something?
Yeah, I'm just.
I don't want to do light language. I actually got real. Actually, we can talk about that. I got super triggered by light language.
I think we should talk about these things. I talked to a friend of mine the other day who is not in these communities, and one of the highest frequency men that I've ever met. And we were just talking about Soulogy and what is Soulogy Fest, what does it look like, what happens on the show, and I was just going down the list. Some people do this, and we talk, we do this, we talk about real time intel, and mention light language. And he said, I've been around, I would say like early 90s, really woke up. And, anyway, he said that, it kind of rubs him the wrong way. A lot of times. Because it's not, I guess, I don't want to say fluid, but it's not, it's too much human condition in it.
Sometimes.
Right? Yeah.
I think it depends on the intention behind it, because I have a friend that speaks light language beautifully, and she uses it in an intentional way, but I have to say I've been in circles where it's really triggered like religious trauma in me, and
well, I try to say this like no judgment, I mean it, but it's just trying to identify the things that are occurring, and those things that make us uncomfortable, I think, are part of that conversation.
Yeah.
Because how are we going to get past that judgment if we don't do what you're doing with the medical field metaphor, right? I mean, and I do agree with you about one thing, and this is going back to when I started dancing at 49. One thing I realized is that I blocked everything out. So it was pure, right? For me, and that's all that mattered. And people would remark to me after a while that I was good or whatever the case was. But I realized, because I'm a very unconventional dancer, right? I realized that it was what was coming through. It wasn't the movements. Like kind of like it's not the words on this show.
Yeah.
It's the energy.
Yeah.
You know, and that I think is being served very well now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But I would say this too. Anyone that attempts to do anything, the fact that they're attempting it deserve a lot of credit for that, because that's, I think, a big part of what we're going through too, is stepping out and getting past the point of embarrassment and actually being ourselves.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And light language was part of my journey. I was in Mount Shasta and just literally started speaking light language when I was hiking around by myself, and I didn't know what was happening, and it was totally part of opening this channel. So no judgment at all.
Have you had any galactic interactions?
Oh, so many. So many. Yes.
Like, what's the craziest? Well, not craziest, but what's the most profound, impactful one you've had?
I think we talked about it on one of our shows, but no, you don't have to remember. You have a million people. It was a little light golden child that visited me and helped me create the Yothera method. And he would wake me up every morning at 3 o'clock in the morning for 6 months.
That's right, I do remember this.
Do you remember that? The golden child, and I think Morgan had something similar around that time. I can't remember, but it was like the Christ child.
Yes.
But it wasn't.
This is a great comment from Renee Daniels. I think she sums up where you were getting at, which is a really good point. Because, so she's saying that everything is frequency. So I feel that if you don't resonate with the frequency, it can repel you like opposite magnets. But there are people that it does resonate with, right?
Yeah,
so that's another thing to consider.
Totally.
We are universally seated, so we're not going to be totally kindred. On a familiar relationship with everyone, right? Like I think another good example would be Soulogy Fest last year. I was excited to throw a wrench and everything in the schedule and put Jason, Estes, and Franco on the stage together. And so I asked them, I think it was actually privately, I was going to introduce them. And they said, "Oh, we already met."
Oh, interesting.
So they were at the airport at the same time at baggage claim.
Wow.
So there you go. But anyway, in talking to them, because you can see they're very different, right? You could see they're very different. Both have some good intel, but very, very different. And they explained to me that they did recognize the other, but there wasn't that, like, let's say, family vibe, right?
Totally.
So I mean, that's another thing. Renee brings up a good point, because Morgan always says it's a buffet, and that's why we try to present or broadcast, produce a wide variety for that very reason.
Yeah,
right?
That's great. That's great. Yeah, there's a buffet out there, especially here in Sedona.
Candace says not everyone, right? Not everyone's jam is everyone's jam.
Yep, it's true.
88 people in the house, that means something. Yeah, so what do you want to talk about?
88, that's a good number.
It is a good number.
It's a really good
Double
number.
infinity.
That's
Double the
right.
deuces.
Yep.
Yeah.
What do you guys want to talk about? What do you want to know? That's great. Yeah. It's Renee. I've seen her name pop up.
Yeah,
a few
Renee's
times.
around Mount Shasta area.
Yeah. Grid working. That's another thing. Yeah, I feel like, so both of us feeling this call to come to Sedona, like, I feel like that's part of this, I guess you could call it grid working, but like really listening to where we're called and being able to go.
Yeah.
And like, I'm working on setting up my life in a way that I can do that. Not everybody has the ability to do that, right? So I think that's important.
I think that's, because I remember, at Soulogy Fest last year, the intel I was getting, a lot of the intel Morgan was getting, even though she was going to Australia, we were still connecting. And so there was like something to be said for all these people coming to a certain place. And it wasn't just at Soulogy Fest, it was in other places around Sedona at that time.
Oh, okay.
Because there was something major being anchored and being pulsated out into the grid.
Yeah.
And so like in her case, she was on the coast of Australia, and there was these other women there, and you could just kind of see these columns everywhere. And I wonder if that's what's happening now.
I think so.
You know.
Yeah. What do you think is getting anchored in Sedona? Because I feel it. I feel like.
I feel like that after listening to Nicola's explanations and putting together everything else, that how everything starts to kind of like fall into place, and okay, this is how the story goes, or this is how the pieces fit together. That we're there's so many ways to say this, but that we're reaching a point where I've reached a point, and this was coming out in the conversation as I was getting like downloaded as she was talking to me, where my feminine is leading the way.
Yeah.
My masculine has taken on the feminine role, and my feminine has taken on the masculine role. But the difference is the way the masculine was doing it in the patriarchal isn't the way that the feminine's doing it. So it's the necessary reversal of roles / poles that require that the evolution or the ascension or whatever you want to call it, because of where it's coming from. Like if it was opposite and we were in the matriarchal, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like that what that signifies is full blown. I guess if we keep it to the body, the lower power centers with the higher dimensional power centers coming together in equilibrium, and something fucking amazing is happening. Something like that.
That's amazing.
Yeah, something like that.
Sandra Walter talks about it being no more separate energy centers, actually, just one big column.
Well, that's what we were just talking about. Yeah, and Morgan and I had experienced that in the last few weeks. And then, the crazy thing is when Nicola came on, she kept saying Anna's Anna. Normally when I talk to her, it's just we're talking, and then she kept Anna wants me to tell you this. Anna wants me to tell you that. She finally goes, well, let me just let you talk to Anna.
Nice.
So when she closed her eyes, I could feel it. Like I could feel it in here. And I thought, whoa, what's going on? And then it took her probably 2-3 minutes. I saw that column. Yeah. And I saw the crossbeam. Right?
Was it here? Yeah.
Yes, it was right here, totally. And I could see the cross, and it was all white. Yeah. And I asked her, "This is what I just saw." So my question is coming from a nonverbal.
Yeah.
So I described it to her, and I said, and I know, and I also, in viewing it or experiencing it, I knew it wasn't just me. It felt 100% collective. Like I don't know if this is where you're going, or this is what's happened, or this is the potential. But she affirmed it. So to me, that's a huge game changer. And the other thing she said that was really fascinating, she said the inner child never been wounded. Now hang on, I went, oh, wait, whoa.
No, it's true.
But she said he's always been there, she's always been there. And all that needed to happen was in the age of the third energy, right?
Yes.
Is to bring the inner child into that triad as an equal. And I'm like, boom, here we go with the paradoxical, universal genius, right? I mean, that makes all the sense in the world. So
and that was who came through for me. That was the galactic. The child showed me that he was the innocent, or she was the innocent, floating above the triangle, and it was like.
Right. It's kind of like, like we're the last to find out.
Yep.
Daniel says he's a powerful brother. He came on the impromptu show this morning. He says that do you experience a take-in of specific energies who were heavy for you or your body, and you have gotten to cleanse it? I can't really make that out, or heal it. Let's see. Do you have experience and take in a specific energies who were heavy for you? Okay, or your body.
Have I taken on energies that are
Oh,
I
I see what he
think that's
means.
what he's
Like
saying.
when you're treating somebody, it's a good question.
Oh, totally.
If you're treating somebody, has anything tried to invade you or invaded you?
Well, so here's how I work. I moved from being codependent into working. I have to merge with the person's energy in order to read it.
Okay.
So I do have to merge with it, and sometimes that means that you do have to kind of, I feel it in my own body when I'm working with somebody, so I know what needs healing. I have to clear it really well afterwards. So yeah.
I think that's what and Daphne Ford said. How do you cleanse after therapy on your clients? I'm planning to become a psychotherapist, and that is an aspect I'm interested in, cleansing after interaction with people's energies.
I scan my field. I literally do a body scan, and I can feel where there's something on me or attached to me, and then I usually tone into the spaces and clear that way. That's my own way of doing it.
Can you show us?
I don't know about that.
Okay, all right. I just say, I
Thanks
like
for throwing me in the fire, though.
I like to do that. It's no big deal. It's worth a shot. All they can do is say no.
It's true.
All right. Well, it's been a pleasure. Maybe we can do it again.
Definitely.
Yeah,
I'm around.
Yeah, maybe we'll. Just keep an eye out for us. For those of you who are in Sedona, we're going to be doing at least 2 Soulogy Soul gatherings at, I can't say where yet, but I'm pretty sure where, and you'll know it. And we're going to be having some gatherings like we've done in the past, where people come up and give a testimony of, or do conscious rap or sing or dance or play instruments or harmonic light language. Try to see if Shekinah can join us, and we'll just mix it up and see what we can do. And we're going to try to broadcast as much as we can. I've been told, that's one thing I've been told. It's been building, but I've been told, you need to be on 6-7 hours a day, specifically when this time came. Because something like, and I'm just trying to, and like you said, if it's happening here, it's happening how many other places, you know what I mean?
Totally.
But like that, it would be very important for people to be able to tap into, it's not just me.
Yeah.
Like, and the realest information seems to be coming in the moment. So, so anyway, we're going to be around a lot. 1385 89A, we're the door facing the highway across from Whole Foods. Come and say hello, reach out, or just stop by, whatever you want to do. And we'll see Jess again, and we'll be reporting on the front line, from the front line of the apocalypse, the great unveiling from Mother Sedona. Peace out, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Take care.